Welcome to official SL TV channel. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share my video and press the red button. Please help me to share my video.
Famulem, una good evening. We don't come back today again with our usual program. We're in a salon talk. We can meet una every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays of every week. So today, we're on Monday, we're at the 12th day of May 2025, and at the first and fresh edition of Salon Talk, we dey meet una for this week here. So we can always announce with telephone number and give una in the event we want contact you. If you're inside Sierra Leone, you want to use a free cell line for call we will call you on 077-763898. But if you're in the diaspora and you want to use a free cell line, don't forget for the country code number +232-77763898. And we get to the international number when a +46720857685. +46720857685. Famulem, the topic we want to bring to today now about the citizens budget where they launched today, the Ministry of Finance in collaboration with the National Council for Civic Education and Democracy, where they can call NaCCED, where they go launch today at the Ministry of Finance and conference on George Street, Freetown. So Uncle Sankara they bring to una the people them so that we go una go know exactly what will happen around this 2025 national budget where they present to the people them today. Now that conference all day will be get jam packed of media houses then, different media houses them, including non-state actors them, we go witness that launching day today. So now that thing there we can bring to una so today. So as usual, the producer for this program now Uncle Sankara, and the presenter, me, na Mr. Critical Mind. And I got two analysts them where can help me for push this program go before. We one of them, Ahmek Hassan with the Sweden Kotor Yeroh with the inside in the studio here for help me push this program go before. And with technical assistant where they behind the machine at studio number 2, and Musa Vandi where they make sure say this program is live and clear. So before they start this message, this program, one for give una the message where come out from the Minister of Finance to we the general public so that we be able to understand exactly what thing in the country we are about and what we get for compassion to una for una self information. So first of all, the Minister of Finance, when Sheku Ahmed Fantamadi Bangura, he say on behalf of the President, His Excellency Brigadier Retired Dr. Julius Madabio, he said, we all thank you for the continuous trust we put in the government for the 1 year we don't pass from where about 1 or 2 years we don't pass from where then win election in 2023. He said, beaucoup external shocks them and global economic uncertainty we don't take place in the recent year don't adversely affect domestic economic performance and it also cause havoc at the living standard of the people in this country. So for address that issue there, government don't formulate and don't implement fine microeconomic policies in 2023 and 2024 for reduce the impact of them shocks then they and for correct them policy slippages like some policy they where they're not able to address. So the fiscal consolidation stance were combined with the proactive monetary policy, it don't begin be a foot. So economic recovery don't remain resilient. The fiscal and trade deficits, where the fiscal and trade deficits will be affect the country, it don't narrow down. Inflation don't reduce, and the loans don't become relatively stable with positive implication for improved living condition. So he said the financial year 2025, he said then they try for consolidate then gains here. Where they don't gain over the year, where they don't do over the year. And then they prioritize programs and then policies them. We go foster inclusion and economic resilience, as well as for improve the quality of lives of the people of Sierra Leone. Therefore, he said the theme for this 2025 budget now, improving the well-being and quality of life for all Sierra Leoneans. He said for reduce the challenge we're facing this country. He said he want to talk on behalf of His Excellency President Julius Maada Bio for assure all Sierra Leoneans that the government will continue to implement fine fiscal and monetary policies for safeguard the macroeconomic stability. He said government will also undertake sectoral and structural reform for promote sustainable and inclusive growth and for enhance the living standard of the Sierra Leoneans then. So when I go see say this budget here, it will go tell then they talk about we the people then. Now we the people then. So the citizen budget for 2025, it explain to in the simplest term government revenue and expenditure projections then the waiting government they receive from taxes and other sources and how government they spend them. And how government intend for accelerate mobilization of the much needed revenue and how for manage and find overall expenditure over the medium term with the aim for finance the needs of Sierra Leoneans, especially the vulnerables, and climate change mitigation measures. So this they strengthen with efforts for promote accountability and transparency with regards to public finance. So Fabulem, now this message here, the Minister of Finance, when Mr. Sheku Fantamadi Bangura will give to the people of this country for keep the hope, see the country it will change from time to time. So we all they see what no happen inside the country over the years from where President Julius Maada Bio can have power, the efforts where the president and the government they make the people of this country, with the people of this country, they will get fine living standard and living conditions. With all the adverse things that would happen around the world, then wars that would take place in Ukraine and Russia, that the Middle East against the Palestinian and the Israeli them and other parts of the world, the country and representing and will affect the country. So this 2025 season budget, they prepare the Minister of Finance they prepare in collaboration with the National Council for Civic Education and Democracy, they call NaCCED. The technical assistance is provided by the Oxford Policy Management, they call OPM, with a strengthened education service provision through improvements for underpinning public financial management with a PFM, with a policy and audit and payroll system. Project funded by the United Kingdom Foreign in Commonwealth and Development Office within the FCDO, formerly they call the Department for International Development in DFI. So Fambulem, like I tell you, I don't know they can discuss it. So with me, like I tell you now, I get two people who they help me rub most on this program here. But first, I pass the mic to Kotor Yeroh, because Kotor Yeroh, now we all been there today at the Minister of Finance conference, or we will cover all this program will happen. So we get a lot we been together for can tell you the people them. Kotor Yeroh, what you get for the people them as far as this program the witness what you get for the people and tell them.
Thank you very much, Mr. Critical Mind. You see, one thing, plenty people they can just sit down no more and judge and make a conclusion, about Sierra Leone economy without knowing the strengths, the efforts we government they galvanize and put together for cushioning the burden, on the people of Sierra Leone. Governments, they play hard, they work hard for reduce inflation and stability, exchange rates. We look now for the past 2 years, critical mind, the way how things them been the dear. Take for instance the staple food, grain and rice. Ten be rich, rice, it been just to go up. The price been just to go up astronomically. Understand? And if you look some of the not that basic stuff them back, palmine, yabas, first and salona being luxury. But because of the deceleration of inflation, by that they mean the reduction of the price of inflation, it don't depend on. This don't help for cushion the burden on the people of Sierra Leone. And the prudent management of public finances for create the fiscal space for the government go able for invest in social and economic sectors then. So budget, when they say national budget, na the money where the country they gather, and expand and implement for on the country, you understand, for spend at the different sectors, them health, education, energy, electricity, etc., etc. And when you look at the money where government don't they generate, despite the global economic challenges, where the whole global economy depend, understand, because of the Russia Ukraine war, and the war at the Middle East, and some other external shocks them, government don't put in place prudent measures them. Now I make this budget here, so now a people centered budget. We are in the needs of the people are catered for because first term government may they run at a greater deficit. But if you look now, governments don't they deepen and broaden the social protection programs for support the poor and vulnerable groups in society, and government don't they improve the business environment. If you look this particular area, so government not add no tax. Where some naysayers and some propaganda people and they go and talk say government don't increase tax. In fact, now some companies them where government they give tax waivers because of them, the role way they play in the economy is very great and important. So government can see the need for give them tax waivers. You know, critical mind where you look, the minister talk one talk. He say the mining sector it dey generate about 88%, of the country in GDP, and revenue. So this sector yeah, so first thing government not been they get them right, you know, because the mining companies them they may they cheat the government, because of the bad laws them we been there, but because of the new mining laws them, government now they get 10%, interest in all the new mining companies and where they can operate. As government they give you your own concession area, you they get government is assured of getting 10%, and this, you know, the royalty where the mining companies then they pay, it is not included, with some other tax them back. So their money they are all the government they help for generate. It don't help for boost the budget. It don't help for increase the budget. The governments don't narrow the deficits where the budget been they suffer. Critical mind, the minister talk one talk, no wonder we been the criticize EDSA. The money where government is spending on the energy sector is so huge because we look at EDSA by rights, therefore they able to run themselves from the bills where people then they pay. But the minister of finances sadly this, they be so pass government get for intervene, and subsidize the energy sector, by giving money to the independent power providers. It talk about the hydro sector, where than they itself government don't spend a lot of money, but we need to generate the necessary impacts from the hydro sector. He say so this all 90, swallow up some of the government in money. But when you look at the projection for 2026, you say inflation go calm down back, because of the wise and the prudent policies them, go on to 2027. So critical mind, when you look at them, government it don't limit the fiscal space because it don't provide an adequate investment environment. Wey look, more than 30 factories na im the Bill-led government don open since 2018 to now. Salon no been get reach 15 factories dem. So then 30 factories dem e don can help for create jobs. E don help for raise the revenue of the country. You know, first time some goods then they now been luxury, forget na problem. You know, and the minister talk one back, talk one talk. He say this particular budget, it dey cater for the big five agenda. You know, where feed salon na the main priority inside this particular budget here. So, you know, people have been so skeptical about the Toma Bomb project, but luckily the Minister of Agriculture been there na the program. He explained about the Toma Bomb project. He said the Toma Bomb project na a donor funded project of $24 million. He said, but the project need more than that money there. He said the money alone wey dem don expend, you know, is about 24% of that money there. He say with that small investment there, he say government don dey produce rice, you know, from that Tumabom there and from the other districts wey na Kambia district, you know, Kichom and Samu. You know, he say and the rice wey dem be dey wey dem dey produce now, he say World Food Program first dem be dey imports, but 70%, you know, of that school feeding, that rest wey dem dey use for that school feeding program. He say, but with this Tumabom rest now, wey dem don invest in the irrigation facilities dem wey dey provide water for sustain the, you know, agricultural land so that the rest go able, you know, fertile and dem go able for harvest am in a quality manner. He say now the rest wey WFP dey buy, he say na the locally produced rice. You know, and the minister talk am, he say with that project dey go complete, he say salon no need for the import rice again. He say you go dey utilize your own domestic rice and dey even dey export some of this rice here. So, you know, critical one. I go stop here so first, you know, until you get on back to me.
Okay, Mr. Kotor Yeroh, thank you very much for that submission. Now, I can turn the mic now to Ahmek Hassan. Ahmek Hassan, according to wetin the Minister of Finance be tell we about inflation business will be the threat in this country economy. You know, there was a time where in this country the loans every day, it dey go up every day, it dey go up every day, it dey go up now. So things are difficult, prices of goods and commodities are expensive. Now, the Minister of Finance tell we say, he said the pressure of the inflation will be the torment this country. It don't reduce from 2020 in 2024. He said it don't come down from 54.5% in October of 2023 to 20.2% in September 2024. He said, what is responsible for this? Now, the tight macroeconomic policies were on softening global prices of food and energy, and the stable exchange rates were combined with increased domestic food production, just like what Kotor already talks so. Because now the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Minister Musa Enipaka, he become another conference all day. He said, but we can they say now the other thing come for. He said, but we come the short way be good and the talk be interesting. So he begin talk about this Toma Bomb and this and this Bundapi and no, this other country Cambia, yes, we will talk about them. So it come all the way to make the foreign exchange reduce the inflation canon. Now the combined increase for domestic food production, where in the context of the come within the fiscal initiative. He said the medium-term program now then is inflation and expectant for moderate to a single digit of 9.0% by 2027 from 14.9 where they in 2025 with tight monetary policy stance, prudent fiscal policy, and moderation of global food and energy prices. So Ahmek Hassan, with all this way, the Minister of Finance talk about how they don't fight inflation in this country, about how the loans don't stabilize now, about how food, with the production of food stuff in this country, they don't make all them things and they don't price don't canon, don't make inflation. He said by 2027, inflation rate they come to a single digit. where we would expect them for be something like 9.0%. Ahmek Hassan. So what's in your take on this one?
Yes, critical mind, now go straight to the point, even though Kotor Yeroh don't knock most important side of the place. But what we talk to now the Uncle Sankara media platform, we talk to the whole country, then they listen to it, okay? But when you talk like this, most of we will understand figure, we know what the minister mean, and we know what you talk. So let me break down back again in the local way, so that the people will not understand the figure, what they mean by percentage or everything so far, what they mean by that this control of economy, this budget planning way the minister announced. It's just like critical mind. You didn't know you host. You get 5 bedrooms that you host. You get your wife, you get you picking them, and maybe extended family. The way month done. You don't know how much you spend. You just buy food counter and no one at the house. You just buy food counter. And how you the counter at the house, now so you pick you have early. Now so they eat the food more 24/7, they eat it with no control, with no respect for the food, because then they see them every time frequent. So what thing they happen? You went at the head where they provide that you pocket, now in the suffer. So they ever able to control your finance and everything. So if you want control the home that you house there, for let everything stable, we months down, you get for know how much paper you buy where you couch at the house. You get for know how many bags of rice you buy. You get for know the palma, how much palma you buy. If you are 2,000 palma, then you put on at the house. Then you tell them, say, this food I don't buy. Now in the serve we from this week to this time, from this time to this time. Where that happen? Everybody inside the house, they get respect and control for that food, because they know say we eat done day. So the food will inflate at the house. So now the food, the head of the house, cut down the inflation by waiting proper budget of finance control. So now that the government don't look say, especially when we make a reference, say the war within at Ukraine, between Ukraine and Russia, and then at the Middle East. And when there was then they happen, who that they affect? That the developing countries with smaller economies. Now they affect. So if we get a proper finance management, then the people don't say, now so the global economy they run, now so everything they go invade all over. How we can able to sustain and maintain we economy in this country, where the people go start, even if they're not satisfied, well, at least they go be okay. Now we know now how much money they can inside this country. So now this we get for medical. Now this we get for spend. We know how many teachers they need in the country, how many nurses then they, how many doctors then they, waiting at the salary, them budget for that, infrastructure, food security, like Kotor Yeroh talk. All anything the government they put them in place and budget for them. So when you budget for that one day, trust me, you will find out say maybe when you be the spend at the house, 1 month so you just buy how much 30,000 loads of bag of rice or 1 million bags of rice. Then if you find out, say, if you cut down the expenses, critical mind, you're able to save more money when the food supply you could provide for that, even enough for the house, then you will save money. So that will help the government for look and see usai loopholes or what we for do with this balance money. Usai people they need help. Now the meaning of this critical mind for let the local people they lay malay understand what you they talk Naya. So that don't tell we say critical mind for run government, it takes time. Not to 1 year, not to 2 years, not to 3 years, not to 4 years, not to 5 years. For put things like this in place. It take time. So you imagine this policy and this structure with the government they put in place. Imagine then this particular government continue the next 10 years, the next 15 years. How you feel say the economy go to critical mind? Stable like a stabilizer. Now this we call government or governance. Now this we call leadership and controlled critical mind. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amika-san. Now, we don't talk about the budget, the importance of the budget, how the Minister of Finance, we don't try for explain them, and with a call on the citizens' budget, way for can help for improve the living standard or living condition of we the people in this country. But if we talk them, it's so we risk them back to the budget because of the kind of thing the way they happen across the world. Because one thing is just like you as a father in the home. You don't when month done, you get your salary when they pay you. You don't budget say when month done, where this money can and ABC are they do. But again, external factors then can come in till we no budget for, till we no plan for can come. And then no can come now the risk to you budget we don't put for that month stay. So in as much as government they look, they foresee say things then will find, but they forget about the external factors where they influence the economy in this country. Yeah. Fambulem, let we not forget say the interdependent world we live in. When means say we live by other countries they live by we self naya. So anything will happen with we, it get the possibility there for make it affect another country. We be depend on we say we live we say they say they live from we. So anything will happen other country, it affect we self naya also. We believe say we feel say then country they will get things they will then assist we on. Like one, the escalation, the kind thing, the kind conflicts that happen at the Middle East, and the protracted Russian-Ukraine war. He said the Minister of Finance, it go worsen the supply disruption and lead to a further surge in the prices of essential goods, when like food, fuel, etc., where in turn it go lead to higher than budgeted government expenditure. So government go on plan just like what I tell you now. So I take the home as an example. Then the external factors that we go make sometimes I overspend which are not be done plan for spend. So some of time the next thing can happen. So in turn we go ask it go affect it go go more than wetin government don budget for the expenditure where you include energy subsidies, the wider budget deficits, we go thereby compromise government fiscal consolidation effort because all the efforts wey government go don make for make we get a stabilized economy, a stabilized state, the external factors get the propensity or the potential for make we not going to reach it. But we all wait to this year, we pray to go there, that one will not reach na will not reach na side at all. So Kotor Yeroh, how you see the risk there? And what suggestion will you go give so that government side will think of a way where if then shocks there come, although yes, they're imminent, but we will get something we will protect we for make we get harder shocks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Critical Man. You see them global wars there, so yes, like say salon economy for don't go past so far away. Then global wars there, they lead to supply chain disruptions. You see the Houthi attack, now the Red Sea, on the Suez Canal, in the Gulf of Aden. Most of the global ships them where they pass and they don't divert them routes, and this it lead to a slow, global economy because beaucoup shipping companies them where they traverse, around the world, understand? They supply raw materials, and take goods from one point to another. They become disrupted. So this they affect the global economy. You see, so we want peace between Russia and Ukraine, and one peace between, Yemen, that bomb where they bomb that shipping routes. When are they most of the shipping, lines in the past, the shipping companies them in the past, then they get the tendency for slow the growth of Sierra Leone economy. Stand on, we get, the spend where government they spend money in the energy sector. If see government able for implement the reforms in the energy sector, this go help the government for save plenty money so that government go spend in other priority areas than for the put an money in the energy sector without, we need to see better dividend. You see, and we also get weak global economic growth. Like for example, the slow way the Chinese economy is slow. The Chinese economy now the biggest economy, now then the demand for we raw materials, for we raw product then. So if see there is sluggish growth with the Chinese economy, this go reduce, it go shorten the demand, from the Chinese for they can buy the minerals them, for they can buy the agricultural products them. So this go lead to lower than projected domestic revenue, and it go help for derail the implementation of the budget. And we also get donor fatigue. Salone, largely na a donor driven country, and now most of the donor countries dem get domestic issues dem wey dem dey grapple with. So with dem kind challenges they are, so most of dem donor states they are, so dem dey reduce the money wey dem can send for giving budget support. So with dem kind limitations they are, so na a risk to the Sierra Leone budget, and we also get, you know climate change. You understand? At any time we get global and natural disasters them, such as flood, mudslide. This dey damage the national infrastructure, and this dey lead to extra budgetary expenditures, thereby crowding out priority spending. We get emergency spending like them disaster in this, so wey dey happen. Government no plan for am, but e don be now, so government no get no option. E just need for pull money from the budget and try for solve them particular problem them, yeah. So na some of the risks then, yeah. So and you get the demand and fall of the price of, exports. You understand? We get all we na largely with the exports. The possibility can dey follow the price of we all e fall, follow the global demand e fall. So the saloon people dem for know say dem think they are all e get the potential for slow the economic growth of Sierra Leone, and na a risk to the budget. So people dem no for dey make sweeping statements dem. Dey say government no dey do nothing. Government don do tremendously well, but the money wey government dey get, our government dey expend am back, and this the people dem for know. You get some particular expenditure na recurrent expenditure, you just get for pay interest payment. Some loan dem dey wey you dey take, you need for pay interest, and then all e dey help for eat up, the money from the budget. Subsidies there wey dem dey give to the, energy sector. You get transfer to road main ten ance, grants wey dem dey give educational institutions dem, money wey dem dey give to local councils dem. Government itself e dey, purchase goods and services from different contractors dem. You see, and government dey pay huge wages and salaries. So dem issues dey all wey you put am in totality, e dey help for eat up a lot of government revenue. So na im make the support of the international, of the bilateral partners of the international community very very important. And government for dey make sure say e utilize them resources them, yeah, so well, because na so some other states dem do. Foreign funding na thing wey good, unless they no subject am to corruption and other, malfeasance. If them utilize them money there wey the kind side for the correct intended purposes them, the money wey government dey generate as revenue, we dey able implement am in we needed, in we urgent priority areas them, and critical mind. Also we get subsidies them, we get tax rebates. Companies then they way governments know the grey for let them pay tax. We don't need now money where government supposed for all nine and but just because of government want follow the business environment, it favorable for the economic growth, for a lot of investments come. Government they make sure say it lets go of their money there. In the last time, the National Revenue Authority he complain, about trillions of dollars. So them side the our government need for rationalize, and look, the type of tax exemptions the way you dey give.
Indeed, government get for look some area the type of tax exemption the way it they give, not to all term info they give to all areas. So Amika-san, I can give just 2 minutes, please, not exceed 2 minutes because time don't always catch me because the technical assistant and the signal me now say time don't catch me now. Amik Hassan. So you don't hear waiting culture, then shock share all with the apple depend to other country. Some people they now we go sit down when antagonist them, then when they say, well, when what do you so how we own government for the depend on other country them pass to get donor support, pass to get this, and we get we own things and now we will live on ourselves. You know feel say that in a wrong perception and then they go with a wrong thinking and because every country live by another country. Amicus and 2 minutes.
Yes, critical mind. Yes, in somehow they can go with the wrong perception. But when again, sometimes we talk about these external factors, we can hit other countries, especially your economy. Sometimes it can be really difficult for control critical mind, especially when the country like Sierra Leone have a very small economy, and then if you are hit by external factor, sometimes it's difficult for control. So that can make you see food supply chain or how you call it market prices that they go up. Especially a country like Sierra Leone, critical mind, where by the time Sierra Leone gets little problem, they see prices all don't go up. That people just go it for the opportunity there, So I'm really glad when the government emphasize on this food security, this terminable project, because critical mind, for every time if we hit by external factor, the basic thing that we want a man need, or we citizens need, are food. And are the most important thing. So if we see we will conquer that side, the critical mind, then trust me, I feel say even if we are hit by external factors sometimes, we can able control with food supply chain, we go make at least prices then go down at the country, citizens then go get food for it. Then the government or they are too much pressure, just like the way now government make sure say the price come now all the thing and they because government don't try. And one last special what they make way, I don't know if now you or Kotor say we put the government or the whole government or the if government not work for 1 grade or 2 weeks inside a country, a bit like Sierra Leone, all business they fall, the economy they fall. So that maybe people don't understand how government they work with the banks and all other sectors there, who they make government they run, business they run, and all them forex then they run. Now the work of government, now they make that they happen. So critical might not get much for talk, but at least sometimes the reality is that when a smaller economy like Sierra Leone hit by external factors, sometimes it's difficult for control. Let me take an example. Remember there was a time where an Escoman government, where I don't know whether the IMF or World Bank be sub for gear money. It lead to Bokuten because we're not prepared. Like we president, we prepare food supply, this rice business, we important for Sierra Leone. We don't get much time critical. Remember, these are top people will take again for next time, where at least people get better understanding about how government they run with it between external factors and internal factors. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Amika-san. Kotor, you want kind say, but time don't catch you. There will get about 1 minute more. I'll give 30 seconds.
It's a critical mind. The minister mentioned back one thing, but he says Salone not to a fuel producing country. If you look why me the Salone economy stabilize now, the fuel, price it only stabilize for several months now or more than a year now. So this don't give the cause for the economy stabilize. And the minister warned, he say if see the fuel price go back now the world market, this now another external shock back where they directly affect the Sierra Leone economy. So the people have for know that kind of thing there. Anytime the fuel price go up now the world market, it gets direct effects on the Sierra Leone economy because fuel gets relationship with all the other, commodities and products them.
It get multiplying effect.
Exactly.
So that is why we always bring platform. We always tell people they say we come and bring to them the reality of wetin dey happen. So let themselves they know. So now this family will get for una today, when on Monday, when our first edition of Salon Talk. Until Wednesday, we dey come again with our second edition. Mean na the critical mind they say una bye bye.